Yeah.
Woo, Justin Herbert, Chargers, Brandon Staley. It is not looking good, not looking good.
You don't have to ask.
Do not have to ask.
Joy, do the Chargers need to blow it up?
We do have to ask that. By blow it up, we mean, obviously,
Wow, boom.
the front office, the coach.
Oh.
Man, I really don't like to talk about firing people, but I don't know what choice they have based off the talent that they have on this roster. So in general, I think that they were building something. They were building into momentum coming into this season. But if you look at this roster, you'd have to put them in the top 10 range for sure, talent-wise.
I'm saying top 5.
You have Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Zion Johnson's the first-round pick, Corey Linsley, Rashawn Slater, Derwin James. Obviously, Joey Bosa is dealing with something right now, but Joey Bosa is there. Khalil Mack. That's a pretty talented roster. You'd put them in the top 10, 12 range, at the very least at the top half of the league. And that is not where they are right now. It's hard for me to justify having that much talent on a roster and for them to consistently look the way that they have this season. It's a frustrating, disappointing season. And when you're losing and people are asking questions like that and you're seeing that frustration and we're hearing the things that we've heard around the team this year, it really feels like there is a permeating feeling of, I don't want to go as far as toxicity, but there's a deep frustration for the lack of success that they've had based off of the expectations and talent that they have within the building. You can feel it coming from the roster. You can hear it coming from the coach. You can hear it coming from the beat reporters having to ask these questions that, by the way, the reporters don't want to ask these questions either. So everyone is like, it's a very deep, potent, palatable tension around this team. And I don't know how you correct that. And when you lose a game like that, and you consistently lose games where Justin Herbert has the ball in his hand at the end of the game, and you're in close one-score games, and you keep losing them, they're 2-5 this year in one-score games. You have the talent to get it done. So, yeah, I don't know what else you do.
Waboom. Blow that thing up. It is going to get blown up. They're not going to the playoffs. That speech right there is a coach knowing that my job is gone. How many weeks is left? 4, 5, 6 weeks in the regular season?
6,
Yeah. My job is gone at the end of this season. I'm getting up here. I'm trying to protect the play calling. I'm trying to let y'all know that we working extremely hard to get this thing going and get these players in the right situation and all that. And at the end of the day, the players are just not making the plays. On offense when they need to make it, on defense when they got to make it, they're not making the plays. And that falls back on the coach. You talk about one-score games. I don't care who the ball hand, if the ball in Justin Herbert's hands, if the ball in the defense got to stop somebody. They're not making the plays. That is on the coach. They did not make those plays last year. That's why they gave up a 20-plus point lead in the playoffs to lose that game. This will get blown up at the end of the season, and it's probably going to be new coach. It's probably going to be new GM. We all know when that happens, new players is coming in. Old players might be gone, traded, whatever it may be. This thing is going to get blown up. The only person that's staying put is the guy in the picture behind you. That's the only person that's guaranteed because he making that bread.
Yeah, I mean, you got to blow it up. If you can't win with this roster you have, and I guess you were being nice saying 10, these dudes like top 5 talent-wise. Right? Yeah. If you can't win with this roster, you got to blow it up. I'm talking about blowing it like a big joint, like mad grenades, like, boom. Because not only the player, but the coaches, the GMs, everything. Yeah. And maybe, like, they sit there and think, like, yo, dang, did we do too much of getting superstars instead of getting better players for roles, right? Sometimes, like the Chiefs, or even they lost Tyreek Hill, we thought they were crazy for that. But they had other wide receivers for different roles that got them to the championships, right? You talk about Kadarius Toney come over there, playing roles, things like that. And now when I get this team, you talk about one-possession games or 2-5 for one-possession games. That's crazy to me. Like, you get superstar players to ice the game out.
Yeah.
Yo, look, up and down the whole game, first to the fourth quarter, now in the fourth quarter, listen, we need to stop on defense. Yep. All these pass rushers, all these guys that go fly around the ball, Derwin James, all these guys, they get turnovers, get stops. On offense, okay, up and down, first to fourth quarter, now we got a chance to score. We got the ball in Herbert's hands. That's what we want. He's the highest paid guy. Wide receivers and all that, everything you need, running backs, everything they need. And you can't win? So, yeah, you talking about blow it up. It should have been blown up.
The question is, what do you gain?
Boom! Blow that thing up, man. Stop playing.
What do you gain if you blow it up, though? That's my fear. Like, if you blow it up, Justin Herbert will be on his third coach in 5 years. So now Justin Herbert has that whole excuse of, well, he's on another coach for his 5th year. How do you expect him to get better? Okay, you hire an offensive coach. That's what I would think. Then what do you do with Kellen Moore? Because what's the point in hiring an offensive coach if you don't run the offensive coach's offense? So now you hire an offensive coach, but now you're going to get rid of Kellen Moore. You're going to promote Kellen Moore to head coach. Kellen Moore and I believe, are the same draft class. So 34-year-old Kellen Moore is going to become your head coach. Or you're going to hire a defensive coach. But the defensive coach put you in this bind in the first place. I do agree you got to blow it up. I just don't think the Chargers are going to get any better once you do blow it up. I think you're still going to be in chaos.
I don't know, Acho. Because it sounds cool. So you really, let's look at the other young coaches on offense. Sean McVay. He a youngster. Right? What's my other man's name from the Packers? When they was rolling. LaFleur. He was young. They was rolling. I mean, you can get some. Another one. He was young. You can have some young coaches that get busy. We've seen it. And they've won. I don't think because my thing is, if you don't blow it up, then what? It's going to be the same narrative. Blowing great players that don't get no results.
Is moving off of Brandon Staley for Kellen Moore actually blowing it up?
No, it's chaos. A little chaotic.
But they already in chaos. So, because I don't consider that to be completely blowing it up. If you move to Kellen Moore as the head coach, and maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't, I don't know. But if you do that, I don't really consider that blowing up. That's less of an adjustment, because at least then Justin Herbert's not having to learn a new offense.
And he's a good coordinator.
Yes. Now, we don't know if he's a good coach, good head coach, but we know he's a good coordinator. But that to me is like the adjustment that you make to sort of soften what you're talking about. Because I do agree, it is very difficult for young players to have to go through coach after coach after coach. And sometimes it's not always the coach's fault. And maybe in this situation, it's just not coming together. Who knows what's going on internally? But it's not working this year. And you blew it last year, and there were already questions. There were already questions about him to begin with. But if you make the adjustment to Kellen Moore, I think that's less of a harsh turn for Justin Herbert, who's already been in his offense.
That's a good point.
And then you can make adjustments elsewhere around the team. Because let's be honest, it's not like this entire stretch of Justin Herbert's career has been a disaster. His rookie year was a raging success. He set all kinds of rookie records. For the expectations that you should have of a team that has a rookie quarterback, that was a win. Can we just count that year as a win? Yeah? No?
As a rookie.
As a rookie. It was a successful rookie.
But he's a rookie. He was a rookie.
I don't see. His issue is not stats. He's great at that.
Okay, but I'm saying I agree with that. But considering how and what we expect of rookies, his rookie season was a success.
Yeah.
So let's move on from the rookie season. All right, we got one dub. The next season, he got a little bit better. They got a little bit better. Not to the jump that we want them to, and certainly not to the jump that other guys in his draft class made.
With less talent winning. Yeah.
Now, last year, they made it to the playoffs. Now, they blew it in the playoffs, but they made it to the playoffs. So, relatively speaking, each year, they've been tick getting better. This year, though, has just been a disaster. They had massive expectations. You made the adjustment to Kellen Moore. They can't finish games. They can't win close-score games. They have the ball in his hand at the end of games. He can't get it done. This year has been a disaster.
So whose fault is that?
Okay, I'm not trying to pass the buck.
No, it's all of them.
I'm not trying to pass the buck. I'm just saying if we zoom out just a little bit, take a deep breath. It's not overall been a complete collapse. Disaster. His whole career hasn't been a disaster. Rookie season was a dub.
I'm saying, but like, okay, I hear. I get it. Individually, yes, I think he's done some.
But
great
as
things.
a team as well.
But as a team, like what? They went to playoffs and gave a crazy lead up.
I agree, but I'm saying
why would we keep that same band together when they're not making no hits?
I agree.
They might do a couple hits. They're not making no albums. They're not selling no albums.
They're just doing some
hits.
I agree. They're not trending on TikTok at all.
If I told you all the all-pros they got in this team, that should be winning.
Yeah, we just read it.
Because there's less teams with less talent that's doing more than the Chargers.
Yeah, because that's the producer. These boys still know how to sing.
They got a really bad
Seriously, though.
I agree. Shady, I agree with you. I'm just saying, if you want to try and find a solve that doesn't completely disrupt everything that you have built within Justin Herbert, perhaps putting Kellen Moore into the head coaching spot is the way.
I know a lot of people. Hold on, real quick. A lot of people was trying to get Kellen Moore for head coach. Right. It's not like they didn't want him at all.
Yeah, but
he was high on the list.
I mean, number one, when you say blow something up, right? I know you're not getting rid of every last one of the players and all. We're not saying blowing up like that. Like, some of these dudes is going to stay put, right? That you got to have some players on your football team to win games. But the coach is out of there, right? When you look at coaches and we talk about how talented this roster is, and then you see other coaches winning with less talent, whether it's the Minnesota Vikings, whether it's the Houston Texans, whoever it may be, winning with less talent, like, come on, that to me, that falls on the coach. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if it's the position you putting the players in, and obviously you can't catch it and throw it to players. I'm not saying the players is making every play, but at the same time, when you're not winning football games, that falls on the coach.
And your quarterback,
point blank, period.
And your quarterback got so much money invested in him. See, this is another thing that we're not even talking about. Now that Herbert got this money, you ain't gonna be able to pay everybody now. So now what you gonna do then?
And you can't maximize the talent that you do have.
Come on.
It's blown up.
Put mines, all types of stuff up in that thing, man.
I think they're in a dilemma as long as Herbert's there. I think they're in a dilemma.
Why? What do you mean by that?
So this is Herbert's fault?
Wait, say that again?
I think they're in a dilemma as long as Herbert's there.
So you saying they should get rid of Herbert?
No.
So he there.
I'm saying everybody's culpable. Why? Because I think the Chargers have let Justin Herbert down the last 2 games. Against the Packers last game, their defense, please get a stop. Please, for the love of God, get a stop. Against the Lions the game before, please get a stop. Please get a stop. It's 2 losses, man. Come on, Chargers, I need y'all's help.
Okay, go. I'm about to say, come on now. Okay.
But game 1 against the Miami Dolphins, Herbert, I need you to go match what Tua just did.
I need that.
Yeah.
Game 2 against the Tennessee Titans. Herbert, we received the ball in overtime by the grace of God, won the toss. You can't go 3 and out. Game 5 against the Dallas Cowboys. Herbert, Dak just went down the field, second to last possession, got a field goal. You can't end the game with the sack and then an interception.
Right.
Even last night's game, I would prefer Justin Herbert for $262.5 million. It doesn't end with the PBU.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the Chargers have not let Justin Herbert down. They absolutely have let Justin Herbert down. But when the Chargers hold Herbert up, Herbert lets them down. When Herbert holds the Chargers up, the Chargers let him down. So I'm just not going to sit here and act as though it is all of the Chargers' fault. Because Herbert, if we're paying you $262.5 million, if I were to say 7 games were going to be decided by 1 possession or less, you can't go 2 and 5.
I agree.
You can't, under any circumstance, go 2 and 5.
I agree with you. I agree with you. He's been disappointing this year. And all those games that you mentioned, like you get that much money, you got the ball in your hands at the end of the game with an opportunity to win it. You got to go
what we want.
win. That's what you get paid to do.
Right.
But we do feel, I feel, I don't know, I'm going to stop speaking for everybody. I'll speak for myself. I feel Justin Herbert has greatness potential.
Yes.
Like there's some players who are okay, you think you could make good, that you could make great. He's like right there and he could be out of here. Now maybe some of it is on him.
Why do you think that?
Because I've seen him in moments be great.
What other moments have you seen?
Okay, they didn't accidentally pay him that much money.
No, a lot of people get paid, and Carson Wentz did too.
A lot of people get paid. A lot of people get $250 million, or the top quarterbacks in the league get $250 million.
Well, it's ascending right now, so $250 million.
All right, I'm gonna just say what I feel. I feel like Justin Herbert is a player that could be potentially great in this league. He is a very young player. He is a still developing player. The clock is not over for Justin Herbert.
No, it's not.
There's so much more that he can write in the history books for his career in the NFL. Perhaps it's on him a little bit. Perhaps he needs to learn how to win and finish games. I think he has the potential to do that. I know what he can physically do on the field. I know that he can go and close out a game if he needs to. We have seen him do great things in this league. That's why they paid him. That's why they drafted him where he did. That's why he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. We know he can put up statistics, and if he can find a way to make those statistics match wins, which I believe he has the potential to do, maybe he will, maybe he won't. I think he has that potential. Then you have to find a way to bring that out of him, whether that is bringing in a new coach, whether that is promoting Kellen Moore and moving off of Brandon Staley for an offensive-leaning head coach. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm not writing off Justin Herbert because of one season and one playoff game that didn't go exactly how we wanted. I feel like that's a little too reactionary for a player that is his age.
No, I'm not writing him off, but I've seen him play 59 regular season games. Andy, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the Chargers are 29-30.
But you said that they're in a dilemma as long as they have Justin Herbert.
Correct, because they're not going to. I don't think they're going to win the big one because we're going to do. I think more people than not will do what you do and say, well, he has the potential for greatness, which I agree. But all potential is unreached ability. So I think he has the potential, but potential literally by definition is unreached.
So how can you say that they're going to have a problem as long as he's there and simultaneously say he has the potential for greatness?
You think he has a potential for greatness.
So you don't think he has the potential for greatness?
Nah, he'll never reach it. So I don't care if he does or he doesn't.
He's in his 4th year.
Correct.
He's never going to reach it?
What did Jalen Hurts do by his 4th year? What Joe Burrow do by his 4th year? What have other great quarterbacks done by their 4th year? I just think they can get there.
But that's the thing, too, though, man, because it's a lot of games to where the Eagles' defense won the game and closed it out. It's a lot of games to where Jalen Hurts went down the field and closed it out. You just made 2 points of none of them doing their job. So if we're sitting here and the defense goes out there for the last 2 years and closes out and he has 7, 8 more wins, this might be different for Justin Herbert. But Justin Herbert is Super Bowl talent if he has the defense and people around him making stop. At least from what I've seen with my 2 eyes.
No, he got a lot of great talent. I agree with that. And he does have, I think, potential to be great. So I agree with all that. I just think that sometimes he needs to close games out. Show us that greatness. And other times you talk about the defense. Sometimes y'all need to step up and play and make some plays. Y'all do got a lot of greatness over there, too. So it's a mixture of everything, right? I don't know if you can say that you don't think he's ever going to hit the
My thought is this. All I'll say is this. I have never seen in the last year and a half, only once will I say Jalen Hurts let his team down. When the Eagles' defense didn't do what they were supposed to do, only once will I say Jalen Hurts let the Eagles down. Like, dang, Jalen, they did their job and you didn't do yours against the Jets. Outside of that, I can't say I've seen the same for that. But Justin Herbert, this season alone, I could say 3 times. In the first 5 games of the season, I could say 3 times. So the reason I'm saying is, at the point in which we've watched you play 60 games, I'm just thinking if you were that great, I would have seen it. We saw it with Mahomes. We saw it with Burrow. We saw it with Hurts. Allen, within his first 4 years, went to an AFC Championship game. And all of these people outside of Mahomes, and maybe you might want to say Hurts, Burrow went to a terrible situation. Allen went to a destitute situation. So I'm just thinking, if I were going to see it, I would have seen it. Does he have potential?
Seen it already, yeah. And all those guys, I think we hold to a higher prestige at this point based off the information we have than we do Justin Herbert. Like, we would all say they're better at winning. Like, they're better at leading their teams to wins. They know how to close out games. They can elevate other people. Like, all of those check have been answered about all those guys. So maybe we don't put Herbert in that category. But when I say with your own eyeballs and you watch him play the game of football, he has the potential to do all of those things. Maybe some of it is on him. Maybe he needs to learn how to close out games. Maybe it's some of the defense letting him down. Maybe it's coaching. But if I'm going to just write a player off, it's because I haven't seen you ever do anything that makes me believe that you can lead a team to that.
And my last thing with him is, like, because I do agree with a lot of what you're saying right there, but the only pushback I got is that when I look at, and they're going to hate me for saying this, but when I look at his draft class with the quarterbacks, he comes out as the most talented overall. Arm strength.
Physically, yeah.
Physically, arm strength. He can run, his ball placement, all them things you need. He has all that, and he's the least. He's done the least out of all the quarterbacks.
And he went to the best situation of the other two.
And he does have a lot more talent than a lot of them dudes. Well, maybe not now with Jalen, but coming into the situation. I just got to see more from Herbert. And I think that it's not the end of the day because it's only his 4th year.
It's just weird
to me. See more.
It's weird to me saying that in his 4th year.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. Like, by your 3rd year, you were All-Pro?
Yeah.
It's just weird to me hearing that. Like, I got to see more. Bro, it's been 4 years, 3.5. But it's weird to me.
This thing with Justin Herbert, leads me back to Shady. Because Shady will take Josh Allen over a lot of these quarterbacks, which I know you would too, and he turned the football over a lot. It's the same thing with Justin Herbert. I would take Justin Herbert over a lot of dudes in this league, and I'm talking about Justin Herbert as a top 5 quarterback in this league that anybody will take right now over a lot of these quarterbacks. And just because, like I say, the wins don't add up, don't mean it's all on him.
I changed my opinion about that. Before I would say the same thing. Man, Justin Herbert, he did his first 3 years. That's cool. But I need to see some wins. Because quarterbacks, one thing about quarterbacks, that as skill positions, like, I can say I'm better than you better than me because of how we make play. But when you start looking at the quarterbacks, I need to see them stats.
I need to see them dubs.
I got to see some wins too, though, James.
There's a lot of quarterbacks out there that's winning right now that you ain't taking over Herbert.
You see, I wouldn't say that.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.